8 more days. 8 more days and we would have made it through 2020. That is some achievement. 2020 has been a year that was terrible for the entire world, but it had its bright spots, especially for me personally. So we're going to take a look back on this weird old year that has changed my life in so many ways. If you want to look down in the description, I've got section parts of this video. We're going to kick it off with obviously nothing else but the best moments from the Assassin's Creed Unity series, because what else would I do? Then we're going to have some moments that you guys, the Voiy Bois, picked out for me and told me were some of your favorite personal moments of the year. And then we're going to have some of my own favorite moments at the end of the year. And then once the clips have all played, once all the jokes are out of the way, I will then just sit down and just chat seriously for a little bit. Without further ado though, where else do I kick this off but the best of Assassin's Creed Unity, the entire series that took me way too long to finish. In the intro of this game, things are flipped on their head, and instead of being the assassin, you are a Templar trying to take down an assassin.
I just flip the switch. I don't know nobody.
This, however, proves quite difficult when the assassins have decided to consult Captain Price on tactics they need to defeat the Templars. Where did they get flashbangs from? This is the 1300s. They didn't have flashbangs then, did they? I steal one of her father's suits. Again, another one of my top 10 tips, because nothing gets a woman going more than the smell of her own dad. Just consulting my tips here, I've actually got written, this is only appropriate if the dad left when they were young and or treated them like a son rather than daughter. When I'm about to drop a load in my pillow, instead of saying I'm gonna bust, I do indeed say the caviar is being plated. Obviously, I'm joking, I don't make the best content on YouTube because there's people out there like this guy who put in all the hard work of stealing other people's clips and putting them into a Fortnite compilation video. Now that's top quality. It turns out that I have to do a small puzzle in the chapel which opens up a dark, decrepit looking pit. It actually has a striking resemblance to Sniper Wolf's content. Completely fucking lifeless. While on this trip, Arno sees his father dying, recalling to that day when he was just a young boy and he lost his dad. Losing a father is a very sad thing to happen, but it's not all bad. I mean, at the end of the day, shameless rebound sex only comes from girls with daddy issues. So this was it. I was finally an assassin, finally free to explore Paris. Nothing, nor no one, could hold me back.
Welcome back.
Oh,
now that you've experienced life as an assassin.
Literally no one cares. Finally, I don't have to listen to her anymore.
I've got something else for you.
Are you serious? Some people just don't realise when you're doing them a favour. Like my ex-girlfriend. Her cat wants bitter, so I proceeded to give it a peach of a volley, curling it into the top bins. But immediately after, she broke up with me, telling me I was a sick freak for doing a knee slide and celebrating that absolute worldie of a goal. I'm really just starting to feel like I can't do the right thing no matter what I do. Like when my friend told me he was going to give up alcohol, so I bought him shitloads of methamphetamine for his birthday, and he's since OD'd. I feel like it was partially my fault. Did you guys know that in the late 1700s, looting a dead corpse was actually a crime? I mean, in the modern day era, it's an understandable law, but back in the 1700s, you could unconsensually put your penis in someone and be fine. So it seems weird that they draw the line at dead body looting. While searching through the beggars camp, I noticed this guy was coming on a little bit too strongly with this woman, and she didn't seem too keen on him. So I decided to do the noble thing here and help her out by shooting her with my phantom bow. Now she's dead, and she no longer has to worry or be scared about anything this man might have done to her. I witnessed a headbutt, the likes of which a French person hasn't given out since the 2006 World Cup final. Christ! They've got to be an ancestor of Zidane. We let Big Hat Boy off scot-free because he told us the location of the King of Beggars. And now we see that he is a snake. This just brings back a lot of emotional trauma for me as well, because I was once snaked by one of my closest friends when I was younger. He had no arms, but I still really liked the guy, and I decided to pick him for my football team as I was captain. Put him in goal, and we ended up conceding 20 goals. Cannot believe it, he was clearly working with the other team's captain, but he'd never admit to it and always blame it on his lack of arms. Because I had to sneak around the guards, as fighting them one-on-one would go worse for me than that time when I called my teacher a dilf. I thought I'd just get detention or suspended for a little while, but he actually just sent me a friend request on Facebook and has DM'd me a picture of his penis every day since. I feel like I should tell someone, but he was such a great history teacher, I wouldn't want to get him fired. I really enjoy this assassination because you have to do a little bit of setup beforehand. Lafreniere isn't actually around right now, and all I'm doing is disabling the alarm bells and collecting information for the assassination. Kind of like when you're stalking someone and you have to go to their house and set up the hidden cameras beforehand, otherwise if they catch you in the act, it might be be a big misunderstanding and they could call the police. At the same time though, they could be flattered. If I was to come home to see someone setting up hidden cameras in my toilet, my bathroom and my living room, I'd be like, "Oh, you cheeky little bugger. Caught you in the act, but actually low-key I'm blushing right now as I had no idea you liked me this much." This is exactly why you never act on something when you're angry. Take that from me. The last time I acted on something when I was angry, I really ended up regretting it a few days later. It was when my girl bought me a bowl of Cinnamon Toast Crunch and I found out that she put the milk in before the cereal. So I just instinctively threw the entire bowl over her face, but looking back at it now, I think the appropriate reaction would have been to end the relationship right there and then. Because you can murder his father, you can murder his guardian in Monsieur de la Serre, but if you try and take away his pussy, that's where he draws the line. I say his pussy, but I think he's hit that the amount of times that I've hit my girlfriend. 0, because domestic abuse is wrong. But running away would achieve absolutely nothing for him. As we saw earlier, Arno can run faster than a dad trying on his new runners in Sports Direct for the first time. And in what was one of the weirdest experiences since that time when I took acid, and it didn't give me a high, it just gave me 3rd-degree burns all along my throat and on my stomach lining. However, Bill Clinton trying to convince everyone he's not a nonce is like me trying to convince you guys that I didn't lose my virginity at school. As you all know, I was homeschooled by my uncle. And it makes sense for people who are into the same thing to stick together. I mean, why do you think people who hate The Last of Us Part 2 and low-functioning autistic students stick together? It's because both groups have an intellectual disability and social communication problems, as we tackle Le Peltier with the precision of a security guard that's just seen you rub your nuts on the avocados. It's not like I didn't have the avocados' consent, he was totally cool with it. But the security guard just completely overreacted, and now I'm banned from Tesco's and Sainsbury's. Sometimes you've got to get your hands a little bit dirty in order to prove your point. Like a few months ago, I was having an argument with my girlfriend because I want to have a child, but she said she's not putting her body through that. So I said, it's not even that bad, and she said, prove it. So naturally, I got the operation, now identify as a female, and I'm in my 2nd trimester. Slight overkill to win the argument? Yes. But will I prove myself right? Yes. I just decided to fully embrace my all-out style with Arno, where he looked like he'd had 6 E's at pre-drinks and was ready to tussle. No guard was safe, and nothing was secure. If there was even such as a pigeon in Arno's way, it was getting volleyed in the forehead. We find Jermaine with a lot of ease, as he's just kind of hiding in plain sight, like an abusive stepdad that you meet at football training. He's always so nice to you, shakes your hand every time you meet him, tells you GG and that you had a good performance on the pitch. You'd never guess that behind closed doors he's drop-kicking little Jimmy. I've got to say, buying Assassin's Creed Unity in 2020 was probably the best decision I made in 2020. I'm sure a lot of you guys will hear from that, and I hope that you enjoyed a little bit of 2020 nostalgia looking back on that entire series and some of the best moments from it. That was a bit of a mixture, you know, some of you guys picked and point out in my comments, some I picked and thought were good moments. But overall, I will just never forget that game now because of what that did to my YouTube channel. It is crazy. So making a best of yourself, especially when you make such questionable jokes on the internet, it's something that is a lot harder than it looks. I'm not saying I have the hardest job in the world or anything, but you know, it's close. Those sweatshop workers don't know how easy they actually have it. It can feel a bit at the times when you're looking through your own videos trying to find your best moments, like you've just taken a dick pic and now you're jacking off to it. It's slightly self-indulgent. So I reached out to you guys, the Voiy Bois. I posted a couple times in my community posts and I asked you, what were some of your favourite personal moments, jokes, segments, lines out of the videos? And I got all of the comments together and I rolled it all into one segment in this video. These are your guys' moments that you picked out for me that you thought were your favourites that weren't included in the Assassin's Creed Unity part because that's a separate thing. Enjoy. While showing the streets of Hong Kong how big my peen was by pulling the sickest wheelie you'd ever seen, tragedy struck and I accidentally used this poor man as a human ramp. It really just feels like I can't get away from violence. I mean, who'd have thought that going 120 on the wrong side of the road, pulling a sick wheelie, would have ended in someone getting hurt. Naturally, I go and check up on him to see how he's doing after being used as a real-life half-pipe. I thought we were dealing with a top geezer here, but it appears we're going to need some maxi pads because the big vagina has somehow died from that. The paramedics arrive, and just as one of them drops down to execute the sucking dick to see if they're still alive strategy, a pedestrian in an olive green Prius attempts a quick assassination on one of the paramedics, which fails miserably. The olive green Prius hitman then just freezes, and the other paramedic sums up the whole situation in a few wise words.
This job sucks.
She made it out safely without a scratch, but unfortunately this did leave the car in a precarious position. And once again, me being a considerate man, I didn't want her to get a parking ticket for her car being put there. So I tried to maneuver the thing and do so successfully. But unfortunately during the process of this reversal, I managed to kill Michelle. And look, I'm not going to try and blame it on her or anything, but maybe it wasn't the smartest idea to stand right behind me while I'm reversing. But looking on the bright side, her being dead means that sex is back on the table. Dutch then decided it would be a good idea for him and Arthur to go out and find some food, because apparently sending children out to find food in minus 20-degree weather is wrong. I mean, I personally see it as a win-win. If the child gets food, then voila, we have food. If the child dies, then there's one less mouth to feed. But before Dutch could even get to verse 32, Micah noticed that there was a small problem, as there was a body just big chilling in the wagon next to him. But a dead body doesn't necessarily mean that the person closest to that dead body was the one that did the crime. If that was so, I would have been charged with first-degree murder 8 times, as there's 8 bodies in my basement, but they all just died of starvation. With all the family errands done, it was time to head home and raw dog my sister Claudia now that she's single. I mean, see what mum's cooking up for dinner and hope that Claudia is stuck in the washing machine. I mean, go to bed and fap. The day was nearly over, so it was time to cap it off by getting laid. I fail all of the QuickTime events because I was told to never be quick in the bedroom. Why would I play the Mafia 1 remake if it's just a taxi driving simulator? Well, for me, the fun is in driving sweet old Christian ladies into the Chicago River when they make a backhanded comment about my driving skills. For most of the race, I'm hovering around 11th to 8th. That is until the second lap. We're on one of the last turns, and I'm making some ground finally. That is until I pull a Doc Hudson at the Piston Cup and completely wipe myself out. I know, it's pretty tough to watch, and I was all the way down to 11th with 1 lap to go. I mean, like, seriously, we're assassins, we could go anywhere we want to in the UK, and we pick Crawley. For anybody wondering that's not from the area, Crawley isn't actually a bad place. I just live near there, and I used to have a local football team rival when I played for my under-12s team, and one of the players for Crawley once called my new Nike boots ugly, and I've just had it out for the entire city since then. Not to worry though, as I two-footed that kid a bit later in the game, breaking both of his legs, getting him off the pitch in tears, and forcing him to retire from football at the age of 12, forcing me at the age of 19 to then be suspended for playing for any football team in the southeast of the UK and doing a little bit of community service. But hey, he still can't walk properly to this day and lives on disability thanks to me, so who got the last laugh in the end there, Christopher? Phoebe tells Cassandra that a man called Marcos was looking for her and wants her to go and meet him at his new vineyard. And that, back in ancient Greece, is the ultimate flex. It wasn't rolling your blunts with backwoods or overdosing on Xanax. No, it was owning a vineyard. A couple of years ago, one of my first jobs was actually looking after a patient with Alzheimer's, and I'd have to go to his house every day to make sure everything was all good. And it was so sad, because every day he would ask me if I was his son, because he couldn't remember what his son looked like. So obviously I told him yes, as he was loaded, and I then got a weekly allowance from him as he thought I was his son. Morally questionable? Yes. Did I use that money to kickstart my YouTube career? Yes. Get in.
Mate, I haven't done the first mission yet. Got a plane. Perfect. I reckon you can do that upside down.
Well, this next one, yeah? Alright, hang on. Nah, it doesn't. The weight doesn't like that. Fuck!
Follow me. Oh, she's loving it.
Sounds like it. I
got me a chest plate.
Matthew, for fuck's sake. At least let me have a go, come on. Oh, man. Oh, do some fishing as well. Goddamn fishing and fucking, that's my 2 favorite things. I busted and goddamn blew up a truck and killed the bitch. She's still orgasming, can you hear her?
I know, she's still quivering.
However, Sabine was still alive, and she still knew of one remaining DedSec operative. Who is this last asset, you ask? None other than our main G, Horace. The dreads, the mismatching clothes, and the coat that smells like piss. This man doesn't bend to society's rules, and that's exactly what we're looking for. When we escape the temple, we're then met with this beautiful shot of the island, and to give you guys the max benefit of this, I decided to bump up my graphics as high as they could go, but that was a very, very bad idea, because the frames drop quicker than the music teacher dropped his pants when we'd have our special lesson of playing the flute blindfolded. We wash up onto a nearby island, like that movie Castaway, starring Tom Hanks. Fortunately for us, the assassin also washes up on the same island, so if worse comes to worse, we won't have to lower ourselves to the level of Tom Hanks and have intercourse with volleyballs. We ended up just knocking out Maurice because he remained tight-lipped and didn't tell us any names, which is the polar opposite to my girlfriend, who randomly screams other men's names when we engage in sexual intercourse. At first I was suspicious, but then she told me that she actually has a very unique condition which only applies to her and none of the other 7 billion humans on the planet, called sex Tourette's. The first challenging task of Bloodborne is creating a valiant warrior. And well, my first attempt ended up looking more like a post-op Michael Jackson than somebody who was ready to do battle. Why does he look like post-op Michael Jackson? Oh no. My second attempt, however, did go a lot better, and instead of looking like we just slept with Macaulay Culkin, we were now looking like John Lennon if he made it into the second half of his life, where Peter reveals to us that he's going to be heading off to Europe with MJ for a few weeks. Clearly he got the bros before hoes memo mixed up, as he even tries to buy me a present to make up for leaving. If it was a diamond necklace or step-by-step instructions on how to build a communist empire, I could have forgiven him. But it's just a new suit that screams B-Tech Spider-Man. It's literally just some pajamas with elbow pads and knee pads. My boy done me dirty. Moments later, it comes to light that Cal is also into some pretty weird stuff, as he's dreaming of being choked using the Force by someone he calls Master. I've heard "choke me daddy" before, but never did I think of saying "use your Jedi powers to asphyxiate me Master." Good to know for next time though, I guess, when I need to spruce things up in the bedroom. And with that out of the way, I guess it's time to beat off to my own dick pic. These were some of my personal favourite moments from the year. A lot of them are parts from videos including friends, because I just find that a lot funnier as it's not just me. But when going through my videos, there definitely was some jokes that just had me creasing and I couldn't not put in here. On the other hand, there was definitely some jokes that were stuff that I wouldn't say. I don't know. I started doing this sort of content in February, I think, and I've changed a fair bit. I've definitely made some jokes that I wouldn't make again. So I hope you guys enjoy some of my personal favourite moments from the year. And then after that's wrapped up, we're gonna just sit here and talk. No jokes, I promise. Maybe one, maybe two. I might slip something in there. Who knows? You ever wonder what the boys be saying when you're AFK?
Every time I have a shower, it's like euphoric for me. Feels ace when you get out of them and that.
You take the head off and look proper good up close and personal.
Yeah. Sit on it and that. Really clean out the colon. I hope George isn't recording now. No. You're not recording, are you, George?
Yeah, I definitely am.
What, no, like right now?
Yeah, I've been recording for 5 minutes. Why, what happened? Luckily, before I head off to bed, I managed to find myself a Playboy mag, so I'm sorted for the night. And it really hits me at this point. To have a FAP worthwhile in the 60s, you had to pay Hugh Hefner some money. I mean, there was no internet, so you didn't have easy access to such iconic titles like "Help! Stepson, I'm stuck in the kitchen sink. Please don't fuck my big ass." And so on. We pull up to Daka's place in a vehicle that's guaranteed to have the ladies dripping wet. Not because they'd be turned on or anything, but because the vehicle has quite a large shortcoming. The rather hefty motor on the back kicks up so much water you'll get off the boat looking like you've just had a conversation with Harry Kane. I had to do a few cab fares for Roman, so I ensured that he would receive 5-star reviews by making sure I prioritise customer safety at all times. Michelle actually lets me drive her car, which is really kind of her, because the car that I pulled up to her apartment in had a missing rear brake light, no windows, a half-attached bumper, no hood, and a little bit of human flesh stuck in the grille. You know, nothing that a mechanic couldn't fix, but I didn't have time nor the money for that right now. It's just a geezer here playing his guitar.
Oh!
He had a friend! I didn't realise!
Look how upset he is.
Look at him! He's just gone into fetal position.
Look, he sat down.
He's gone into shock.
Oh! Fucking dig off me. We're still alive.
Still alive!
It's a beast, man! I'm out. I'm gonna get it!
fucking bastard! Have some of that. It's still alive! How is this turkey still alive?
Oh!
Right, liberate.
What? Come join me.
God, this is a nice little low-key spot, isn't it?
Lovely.
Nice this. Hang on a minute.
Doing some laps.
Good day for fishing.
I'll watch your line.
That's right, Horace, my G. Let's save London. But first, let's down 6 pints in under 60 seconds, because nothing is more British than getting arseholed before doing something really important. Picking up the kids from school? 6 pints. Going for a job interview? 6 pints. It's just tradition in these ends. Obviously, I'm now absolutely smashed, so I'm responsible enough to call an Uber. Wow, that's so much easier than trying to find your own car when you can't see 6 feet in front of you. So I switch to the main girl, and the first thing I see is an Albion officer pull a Bruce Lee on some innocent civilian. I would get involved here, as this is clear oppression, but the form on that dropkick was unbelievable, and this man deserves his rewards not to be taken away. And on my way there, I accidentally ram into the back of Bossman on the Uber Eats bike, so someone's Five Guys order is going to be slightly late. My apologies. I venture into the bathroom of the motel and find a load of cleaning and chemical products, but this really doesn't make sense to me. As far as I'm aware, Aiden has no trace of Hispanic in him, so why would he be this passionate about cleaning his bathroom? I haven't seen a diving tackle that impressive since I accidentally stole a baby from the supermarket. Somebody had just left it there in a pram next to the free sample section, and I thought, yeah, go on then, we'll give parenting a go for a week. Mistakenly thinking that Sainsbury's were just treading some new waters, giving out free samples of babies for a week so you could test it and see if you wanted one. I walked out to give the news to my girlfriend, to then only be rugby tackled by the security guard and banned from every Sainsbury's store in the country. I mean, they could have made it a bit more clear, but hey, simple misunderstanding, I guess. My best friend Genki, who knows I'm Spider-Man, is also staying over, and honestly, I think it's pretty cold of Miles to make him sleep at the bottom of the bed in a thin sleeping bag. Real homies share the bed and a spoon to preserve warmth. However, I am replaying it because everybody wanted to see it and I wanted to give it a second chance. So, the first thing we have to do upon arriving in Havana is a follow mission. For fuck's sake. I'm supposed to believe that this is the best Assassin's Creed. And suddenly I was hit with the idea of, well, what would happen if I crushed every single person I could find on the map with one single use of the car lift? 3, 2, 1. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. The game has I heard bones cracking. Oh my god! Oh my god. Jesus Christ, that's destruction. Who's still alive? Is anyone actually? I think I killed them all. No one's got like the sleepy symbol above their head. No, I killed them all. No one's got the knocked out symbol above their head. I actually killed them all. I try doing rich white guy things to blend in with everyone, like taking care of my garden, listen to somebody chew my ear off about politics, get tempted to jump in the well and end it all because my wife left me for some younger Hispanic guy and took the kids with her, spend an inappropriate amount of time in a playground while being a grown adult without accompanying a child, apple in hand, red cashmere robe on. It was time for Janus to be taken out. I didn't really have a plan, but then I remembered Captain Price's wise words when playing Call of Duty 4. Flashbang through the door. So I flashbanged him, hopefully giving him some PTSD of his Soviet days, then knocked him out with a muffin. So what did I now do with an 86-year-old Russian man knocked out on the garage floor? Well, as you can guess, intercourse was off the cards. Not because of his age, I've seen some spicy 80+ mamacitas in my life, but simply because I would be concerned about his breathing problems. And an oxygen tank in the bedroom is only convenient for when you're knocking someone out, not sustaining their oxygen levels. So I dragged him out of the garage and through the neighbourhood in what I can perceive as not the first time a lifeless foreign corpse had been dragged through this rich white streets. Marcus is doing all this as a part of his trial that he's being put through by hacker group DeadSec to see if he's good enough to join them. That's DeadSec with a C, not Dead Sex. They're a hacker group, not Jimmy Savile's favourite weekend activity. But the geezer's clearly pretty fragile about his masculinity, so he decides to take out his anger on Marcus instead, and whips out the Glock from his swimming shorts because America. But Marcus is a mature, grown man, so he goes about this the right way, tasing him in the knee and then proceeding to pick up his gun, unload the entire clip into his face, and then stealing his boat for a nice little trip across the sea. However, just as I cop some fresh new blue sandals with white socks, I notice a bit of commotion going on in the store. That's when I turn around to see that the clothes store owner is getting arrested. Wow, clearly Bossman was up to some shady business. Something you'd never expect from a Romanian guy who wears a gold chain and has his chest hair hanging out. Naturally, as we're in America and Bossman wasn't born here, when he's cooperating with the police, they just randomly decide to turn into Prime Edge and spear him for no reason. Hey man, I don't know about health and safety and that, but I don't think that's recommended.
I'm still here. Why am I just like...
Hello, you cunt.
Oh, we're gonna land on Mick!
Help me.
Oh, fucking hell!
Oh, I'm knocked out. I'm messed up. Give me some room. Harvey.
Stop. I'm gonna land back in.
I did.
I'm here.
Oh, an actual fan.
Oh, van. Oh, look at this van.
I look like an air freshener.
Try the all-new Febreze Kyle, available at selected retailers.
You can read it.
Oh, fuck.
Fucking hell. Mick doesn't know as a human. If you're just here for content that's extremely questionable, that's you done. I hope you enjoyed the best moments of 2020 according to you guys, according to myself, and according to Assassin's Creed Unity. But I just wanted to take a little bit at the end of this video to say, genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, thank you all so much for what you've done for me this year. It's incredible. Becoming a content creator this year really went from being a dream to reality, and it literally felt like it happened in the space of like just nothing. It was just all of a sudden, boom. It's full on. I'm content creator mode, and now I'm making videos for people who are actually watching and actually enjoying it. And it comes with a whole new load of pressures and a whole new load of unexpected circumstances I didn't think of, but my god, it's the most amazing feeling in the world. My favorite thing is looking through the comments and seeing people say that they really enjoyed the video, that it made them laugh, that it made them forget about some sort of bullshit that's going on in their life for 10 minutes or however long it was. And that is honestly the best bit, is reading through the comments and knowing that I've put a smile on someone's face, knowing that I've made them laugh, knowing that I've made them forget about something that's going on in their life. As someone who has gone through a lot of mental health struggles and still does, definitely this year as well, that's why sometimes there's breaks in my upload schedule, because I just struggle a lot with my mental sometimes. At the end of the day, I make these jokes, and while they may be cringy and offensive to some people, or they may even upset some people, that's never my intention. I'm never going for shock value with the jokes. All I want to do is think, this might make someone laugh, this might make someone smile, this might make someone slightly exhale out of their nose. And if I do that, then I do my job, and that's my mission succeeded, is I've made you laugh, I've made you smile, and I've made you forget about stupid shit in the world. I want this to be an escape for people, and it never fails to put a smile on my face when I see a comment from one of you guys that says, thank you so much, this helped me out. It really does hit different when you know that in your tiny little minuscule corner of the world, you might be making a slight difference in some way. You know, I have the blessing of having one of the best communities that I've come across, because when you make jokes like I do, I often thought that the community would be like offensive and try shock humor and often just be kind of not nice people, but you guys have surprised me of how wholesome and how kind and how loving you are to me, to people in the community as well. Like the Discord is such a nice place to be. I love chilling in the Discord and talking to you guys, because everyone there is just so kind, everyone there is just so nice, everyone there is always down to help each other out, and I know that people have made friends in there, and that's just the best feeling ever. But I just feel like sometimes maybe if you're watching the videos or people in the comments kind of forget that I'm not just someone who talks over video games and makes questionable jokes, that, you know, I'm a real person, and that I'm extremely grateful for the position that you've all put me in. I'm always trying to look onwards and upwards to what's next, and trying to better myself and trying to better the videos and trying to make sure that this community is as good as it can be. But it can't be as good as it can be without you guys and your amazing support and the love that you show me on every single video that I drop. Whether you leave a like, whether you comment on the videos, or whether you just sit there and watch, whether you don't participate in the Discord or whatever, that's fine, I understand. I'm just a lurker. I don't participate in commenting or the liking of videos or communities, really. I just do my thing. I really, really do appreciate you. If you're spending this holiday period alone, whether you're celebrating Christmas or not. I've seen lots of people saying that on Christmas Day they're going to be doing little things like streaming on Twitch still. So maybe you don't feel so alone if you're there watching a Twitch video, or maybe you're watching this video on Christmas Day. And I hope that, like I said, with my intention of videos, it's made you forget about bullshit and life and just put a smile on your face. Because that's all I aim to do. That's all I want to do as somebody that tells jokes. I want to make you laugh. This community is amazing. The Voiy Bois are amazing. Boys with an I, by the way, because it's gender neutral. It's boys as in, we're boys, you know, we're boys, we're tight, we're close. I love you guys. Thank you for your support this year. Let's make 2021 even better. Thank you guys. Bye-bye.